Hey everyone, welcome back to the B Studio, and today I'm here with a brand new video for you guys. We are going to be talking about some issues that we have with the 15th book, The Deep End, and kind of what we would do to improve different aspects of it. So I'm here with my friend Akshay. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me on.
So I feel like, I mean, every year we're excited for a new book, obviously, and this was no different with this one, especially because of COVID and everything. So we were glad to even get a book. Although I almost feel like like Jeff Kitty probably like during quarantine, like probably he was like so desperate to get new ideas that it kind of just came out in
Yeah.
this book. Because I feel like, I mean, we did like this book. I think it had like a fun theme to it, but it was also like really unrealistic. So like I know we like have already talked about this a lot before, but like what did you personally just feel like about like the deep end, like overall?
There were like many parts of the book that were very unrealistic in here. A lot of events that happened and that were not really, um, like would happen in real life. And since the genre of these books are supposed to be realistic fiction, it's kind of losing the Wimpy Kid name
Mm-hmm.
in a
Yeah.
way.
I mean, and we'll kind of like talk about each point. So I kind of wrote down like maybe do something else besides an RV trip. I mean, I get that there's like they've done road trip, they've done plane ride to the resort, but I don't know. It just felt like a little bit like, I mean, there was the whole like the mom like took like the devices away, put them like in this box or whatever, and like it wasn't like really like entertaining, like the stuff that happened in the on the road trip and the long haul. Those were like very memorable stuff, and there kind of just wasn't anything that memorable. At least like not much humor between like the Headleys, which I'll talk about later, but. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe do something else, make the setting a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Uh, one point that I wrote down is that we should have seen the Hefleets in a house by the end of this book, and I feel like the fate of Wrecking Ball got carried on like too much in the series. So basically, if you guys have not read Wrecking Ball, um, in the end of it, basically their house gets wrecked because like a bathtub falls through all the levels of their house, and their house like completely gets wrecked, so they don't have a house for some time. And that was the end of the book of Wrecking Ball. So then the Deep End was the predecessor. Sorry, it was the successor to um, Wrecking Ball. So they obviously started off the book where they were not in their house; they were in their grandma's house. Um, and I assumed right that the deep end would be like about Greg be like doing something in the pool or like learning swimming or something like that. But I also assumed that they would get back into a house or like get their house fixed or something like that. But none of that happened. And honestly, things just became worse for them in this book. So I think that they should have like, kind of like resolved that whole wrecking ball thing in the deep end instead of like carrying it on to Big Shot, which is the next book. It's yet to be released.
Yes. Well, another thing I wrote down, which kind of ties into what I was already talking about, was make the Heffleys act more like a family. I talked about like in the long call, like they had their like humor or whatever. I mean, the pig was like, I guess, kind of like the comedy, whatever you want to call it. It was like running around the car at one point. I don't know, things like to make it more exciting, and plus like they don't really act like a family at all, to be honest. I mean, it's like these like group of like
Yeah.
people who are just like bunched together, and like yeah, there's just no. It's just hard to like connect with them. Also, like I felt like we used to like Roderick, or and there's a point about Roderick here too, but we used to like all these characters more, and now like they're just kind of bland, all of them, especially together.
Yeah. Another thing I wrote down was that like Greg fantasizes a lot in the books, and like one example of this in the deep end actually was like, he went to like a shower in there, in like the resort where he was in the or like in the campsite, and like then he like saw like some naked man stole his shampoo, and then he had like an idea not to shower through high school, and I think like all that stuff is too much of Greg fantasizing about random things and the Wimpy Kid world is like less integrated with one another, all the characters, than in the previous books. And I think we need more action in the book than just Greg thinking about stuff.
Yeah, especially because I don't know, some stuff that Greg thinks about like is really unrealistic, honestly. Like
Yeah,
to be really
which
honest.
added to the unrealisticness of the book.
Yeah. Um and then I'm looking back through this right now, and there's like one point where Roderick said there's like a huge tick on Greg's back and like took a picture of it. But it turned out that that was just a prank. So I guess that's kind of funny, but it still doesn't have the same like ring to it, like as like Roderick's pranks on Greg have been before, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um,
Another thing. What?
now you go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, and another thing is that this is kind of like a small thing, but like the words that are written in caps, like I probably can find an example somewhere. Yeah. So like on page 63, and I knew if I just kept hanging onto the branch, she'd rescue me. The rescue was written in caps, and like in the first book, the word written in caps were like something funny or something like that had to be emphasized. But I think the words that are written in caps, it's being overused now, and it's kind of lost its meaning. It's just like another word,
Yeah, it's like,
not really distinguished from the other word.
yeah, I'm looking back through here and it's like I found the Kohler or what to do next. Like now they're just random words. Like they're supposed to have a big meaning at
Yeah,
the point, but like they don't need to be capitalized. Like and then like
yeah,
camping is in all caps and actives in all caps, but or was like
yeah,
too many of those kind of things. Um, okay, and then I thought you could kind of like take out the whole plot of Gray meeting those random kids and hanging out with them because that was like really like weird. Like instead we could have gotten like Greg and Roderick doing something like to prank people, but like Greg meets these random group of kids and they're really weird to be honest. So yeah, I just that part was just
yeah,
weird to me overall.
yeah. And like, I mean, as a teenager, right? I would like, I would just not like if I just met some random people, I would just not like start hanging out with them randomly, you know.
Hmm. Yeah, it just
So
unrealistic.
that's another unrealistic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What else do we have? Okay. Also
I think that's it.
we need to include Roderick more too. Like Roderick used
Oh,
to be, remember like Roderick Rules, where Roderick got his own book centered around him, and he got like,
yeah.
you know, we like started to like him a little bit, and now he's just hardly in it at all. I mean, the only thing he does is pull occasional pranks on Greg, which I guess is what he's supposed to do. But if they're not funny, then I don't really understand like the point because I feel like he's more than just like this like background character who's just like being like annoying. I don't know. I just personally like find Roderick funny, but there's nothing like to really laugh at him about or for us to like really like him. So just kind of disappointing in that way.
Yeah, there was like two less of what he used to do in like older Wimpy Kid books. Like now I don't see that part of him anymore. He's just like a side character that just happens to be there.
Hmm. Yeah, because I feel like Roderick has like a special like aspect to him that makes him like a good character in a way. Like he started out like, are we supposed to like him? Are we supposed to hate him? Kind of thing. And then like
Yeah,
in the getaway, he finally got like a girlfriend or whatever for like a few days, but like still like he just doesn't have. And I guess it's good. I guess we actually get to see him more in these like road trip books than like regular books. Like Wrecking Ball, we saw him more, but like the Meltdown, I don't think we hardly saw him at all in. So like, I guess
yeah.
it,
Because in the Meltdown, it was more about like Greg's friends and all.
yeah, because at least here, I guess we get to see the family more. But like, if there's no like chemistry or whatever you want to call it between the family members, then like, it's hard to like it. So
Right.
I mean, what do you? Let's see. So one more question for you is that like is there
Yeah.
like certain like is there certain like thing that you would do like for this like particular book? Like would you try to like change the theme a little bit or like what would you personally do to like make it better like despite the things that we wrote down?
So okay, so judging by like the title, like if I never read the book, I wouldn't think that this would be a road trip book. But okay, since it's a road trip book, I would keep it as a road trip book, but I would change up some parts, like all the pointers that we talked about today. I would change all of those and then make it a bit more realistic, a bit more understandable to the reader. And basically, I would just change the parts where it's unrealistic. Other than that, I mean, and I would also include Roderick a bit more in there, and I would also those kids. I would actually still leave them in the book, but I would have it where like Greg is against those kids instead of being with the kids, or like Greg's mom is like telling Greg not to go with those kids or something like that, you know, and it's more realistic and the family is more together. That's what I would change, and maybe like having them back in the house in the end of the book, which also would also be a better part of it.
Yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying. Make it like a happy, like almost make it like a happy. I guess it was kind of like a happy ending, but like
Yeah,
the fact that like they were just like fishing on top of their RV, like and like they're fishing like that. Like I almost feel like they just should have had a home right after that or whatever, move back into their house, get a new house. So I don't know why they're carrying all that over into Big Shot. I guess this is a way to like maybe Jeff Kinney was like, well, I don't know what to do, so to kind of just do like a road trip book, like in the meantime, to get them out of there, and then they can move back in. But I don't know what they're gonna do there. I don't. I
yeah,
feel like they didn't even need to have like the hot tub fall through the house. It could have just been I don't know. That was just weird to me, even though it was pretty funny.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, okay, and then one thing I want to say, Greg's mom, is that she's not that good of a mom. Like, if you really think about it, I mean, sure, she takes her kids' devices away, which is kind of questionable. But all the way back in the long call, when Greg got bit by a pig, like she sent him to a veterinarian to get it checked out.
Yeah.
So, like, she's never really been like
She really doesn't know what to do in certain situations.
yeah, like you don't send your kid to a vet like to get that checked out. Like that's
But
not.
that was a funny part in the long haul.
Mhm. Yeah, it is pretty funny. And then so like I don't know, but I guess it's fine. The mom wasn't really annoying, at least in this book. Really, all the all the family members really just didn't add that much, which is fine in certain aspects. But I also felt like the pacing, especially towards the end, was a little bit weird. Like literally, like everything happened at once. Like suddenly there's like a flood warning. Suddenly, like their RV is like going down like a waterfall, and then suddenly there's like sharks at the like. Well, I know that that was like fake, but suddenly there's like sharks at like pulling like their RV. So everything like just something happened at once. Like the pacing was like kind of weird, and it was like good for suspense. But like, what did you think of
Yeah.
that?
I mean, yeah. I pretty much would change like certain parts of it, but I think that part could be kept
Hmm.
intact. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Um, so yeah, I mean, we still liked it. I mean, we liked every Dive Woman Kid book for their own things. I mean, we you can check out our ranking video for that. But we have Big Shot coming October 26th, I'm pretty sure.
26. Yeah.
Um, and then I'm not sure, haven't heard anything else about that Wimpy Kid TV show. They really have well, movie, animated movie. They really haven't announced anything about that. So I wonder like what they're if that's still like a thing, which I assume it is. It is. I don't think this year even we've really gotten much info about it. What do you think?
Yeah, we haven't gotten much. I mean, Jeff Kinney has like confirmed that it is a thing, but after he confirmed it like a few months ago, I think. But like after that, we literally have not gotten anything about it. I have not heard about it after that.
I mean, I think there's a chance
Maybe it's like in production.
it could still be in it could still be like I'm not sure if you saw the Twitter post of the old actors who play Greg and Raleigh, like Jeff Kinney was with them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw that.
So that's interesting. And if maybe they're like voicing like Greg and Raleigh, maybe. I don't know what they're doing.
That could be a thing. Yeah.
I mean, I know they're not filming anything. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah. That would be super unrealistic.
yeah, more unrealistic than this. But Um, yeah, that's interesting post I saw. I still don't know what that means, but we'll have to. I mean, it was kind of cool to like see. Like, I haven't really, I didn't really check anything out about those two, but it's nice to guess to see them that they're like back in the swing of things, whatever the project may be. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So comment down below like what you personally think of the deep end, like your personal thoughts. I mean, we still enjoyed it. I mean, we would give it like a high score, but it's just it has parts of it that are just unrealistic, a little bit unsatisfying. So is there anything else you want to say before we close?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, you can follow Akshay down below at Real Time Fun, his channel. Yeah, and we'll be back. I'm not sure when because school's starting soon, so we'll have to decide like when will be the best time to release stuff. But we're hoping to do like some more like what we would change about certain books because there's other books that are a little bit like more towards the bottom of our rankings. Again, you can check out the ranking video. But and then in a few months we'll have the well big shot to talk about and cover, and I'm really excited for that. Okay,
Yep.
so yeah, thanks everyone for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and see ya.